go in there and refresh. And then I went to technical writing. And I mean, that class isn't so bad. We're just writing resumes and memos. Like, writing is my thing. I can write stuff well. If given, like, the right amount of materials to work with. Because when I have very little, just like, I'm just gonna add fluff.
Nova here.
Something I really don't like about this university road is how there's two lights that are always red. Just, they never change, and they instantly go from yellow to red, and there's not much change. I'm not gonna disclose a lot about my college. I'm not gonna be like, hey, this is where I live, this is where I go, or don't stalk me. But, yeah. It's looking a bit stormy. I'm glad it didn't rain, because I brought my microphone with me. If it rained, I would be sad. Very sad. Night is sometimes so beautiful. You see the creamy clouds in different variations of colors because the sun is just piercing through the dusk of the night coming. I was trying to be poetic there, but what can you do? Well, it's gonna be sad. Well, I'm just gonna keep on working in college. I can't study or do assignments while in the car. So, but I know I can do this. Nothing is stopping me from doing this. No laws prohibiting me from just talking on a little mic. So the microphone is in the cup holder right now. And I'm just staring off on the road, doing my driving business. I'll probably talk about my university rarely, since this is more of a fun, relaxed channel. I don't want you to be stressed about what I'm doing. I'll come and post videos when I'm ready. And then we shall see what comes next. So, yeah. My university isn't really that far away from my home. It's like, 20 minutes or so. And the roads are fairly lenient on the speed limit, I suppose. There's one cop that's always in the open. Like, he's always sitting on the grass. And I'm just like, can you just be a bit more hidden, sir? Because if you're trying to get someone who's speeding, you shouldn't be out in the open. Oh boy, looks like it's starting to rain, I think. I'm used to rain, but a lot of it can get annoying. Hopefully I get to home before it starts pouring. That's for certain. One can always hope. Yeah, but this is the only time I have for mic recording. I cannot get myself to talk while I'm doing work. I just can't. I have to focus on the work. And if I'm not focusing, then I'm just like, ugh. Really hope it's not gonna rain. You'll probably hear if it's raining. There's little droplets of water right now. it looks horrible. Like, the clouds look like they're ready for a downpour. Yeah, I'm hearing rain. I'm just gonna drive straight through it. So I enjoy college more than high school. I really do. College is so much more lenient than high school. As you might say, oh, there's harder assignments in college, but in high school it's like you have to do all of these things in order not to anger the teacher. But when you go to college, all you have to do is sit there, do your assignments, and participate in class. And I love that. I'm probably gonna stop doing drama on my channel. You know, the exposing videos are a bit uncalled for. It was my final middle finger to those devs who run the game for me. But I still make the channel no drama. Oh, I just saw the lightning bolt. Yeah, I'm going into a storm. I'm going into a storm. Yeah, but that may be a problem. Oh, I just saw a gun show sign. I don't get why people don't like guns. You know, guns don't kill people. People kill people. Guns are a tool. And if you use a tool wrongly, then you're a bad person. But there aren't bad guns or good guns. They're just tools. And when you remove a tool, people are just going to invent a new one. And once that tool is abolished and banned, another tool is going to come. And then it's just going to keep on going down and down until we see people murdering each other with, like, spoons. And then that gets banned because somebody got hit really hard with a large spoon and died. That's sort of the problem with banning weapons. Obviously, if a crazy person has a gun, it's a bad thing. And people shouldn't have military-grade weapons. They should have rifles and maybe pistols. Because in the Constitution, that's, you know, in case of a government takeover, you're technically allowed as an American to defend yourself. I find it so weird that the liberals are just rubbing away laws like an eraser on paper of the Constitution. Or the left. A lot of people really hate Trump because of what he said, but there have been presidents before Trump who have done what Trump did without saying it. Like, Trump said it, but he never did some of those things. But we have some presidents who are Democratic that did those things, and they just got, just some people are just like, whatever, he's gone. But Trump, that guy's evil when he does anything. The news is like, carbon dioxide is now banned because Trump excelled it. It's like, what? Trump is a really obnoxious person, don't get me wrong. But he's certainly better than Hillary Clinton, who was like, I'm a delete. I'm a send out these deleted emails. Confidential stuff. And she's like, I have a public life. People should have a public life and a private life. Which is pretty much her saying that you should have like this presentation of yourself when you're at work, that you're like this good person, but when you go home you can be as toxic as possible, because you should have a public life and a private life. That's sorta Hillary Clinton, sorta. She doesn't really scare me, but she would scare me if she became president, because of all the damage that would happen. A lot of people like Obama, even though he did a bunch of bad stuff to America, in my opinion. I think don't get me wrong, he's a decent president, but nobody really knew what he did. Well, as much as the stuff Trump did, because news never focused on Obama. He would just appear every 2 months. Like, they would say, here's an inspiring quote from Obama. And it's him just talking, saying, guns are bad. Stop owning guns. And then he would just vanish. Like, if you didn't know, Obama's actually a smoker. They actually hid that from people. I find it funny how Obama's painting is like a bush with a chair. I just imagine Trump's painting being a bunch of gold bars built into the shape of like a throne. I don't know what's up with Trump. It's a little, like, he's a closed system. Like, a bunch of people are open systems, where if you give them an idea, they'll just feed it into themselves. But Trump, if you say anything about him, he won't, like, absorb that information. He knows who he is, and he knows what he's going to do. And nobody's really gonna change that. I'm sorry if I triggered some people. Welcome to my opinions. But Trump is a decent person. He's better than Hillary Clinton. He's not the best person, but he's the lesser of two evils. That is for certain. The only reason why people wanted to vote for Hillary Clinton was because she was a female. Well, most people. Nobody was like, oh, nobody was like, oh, look at her good ideals in life. Let's vote for her because of that. Well, maybe she did say something good about the LGBTQR and other letters that are being added to that, and stuff about feminism, but she never said, let's make America good again. She said, oh, let's make a no-fly zone in Syria. Let's immediately go to war with Russia. The lightning bolts are really aligning in the clouds right now. I was about to say the sky, but it's like, oh, no. Okay, let's do this. So, my biggest problem with StarCraft 2's narrative, well, there's two things I don't like about it. One is that they shifted StarCraft 1's second perspective to a third person perspective. And I think I already mentioned this before. And the second thing is that in Heart of the Swarm and Legacy of the Void, they humanized the Zerg and Protoss. You can replace the Protoss and Zerg with beast humans and advanced humans, and nothing would change. The Protoss and StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void, are basically human plus. And we have the Zerg who are likened to beast humans. Some of them are in a hive mind, while some Zerg are sort of their own entity, like Primal Zerg or Stokubo's Infested Zerg, are their own entities. Well, the Swarm is composed of a bunch of individuals under one rule. Wings of Liberty actually did the plot right. Like, in my opinion, if Wings of Liberty was a campaign in StarCraft 1, I think that it would fit decently in. Maybe if they made it so it was second person or first person, but that works. Because the whole thing is like, they made it like a space cowboy narrative where you're just going from planet to planet. But then Heart of the Swarm comes, and that story has no focus to it. It's just Kerrigan getting revenge on Minx. There's a really long circle of revenge in StarCraft where it's, I think it starts with like Minx dropping, like leaving Kerrigan, and then Kerrigan gets revenge, and then Minx gets revenged, and then it's just this huge chain of people being angry at each other. And something that really miffed me about Legacy of the Void is that Artanis was really angry at Kerrigan at the end of StarCraft 1. Like, in the final mission of StarCraft 1 BW, Artanis was like, "We will watch you, Kerrigan," after being driven away. Like, they were combined with Minx and Artanis' Proton. And they couldn't stop Kerrigan. Kerrigan defeated them all. And this was on Kerrigan's little space platform HQ, which was then very well defended. And Artanis was just like, "We're going to watch you and get revenge." And then afterwards, Kerrigan disappears for 4 years. And we're led to believe that Artanis hasn't seen Kerrigan ever since that moment. I don't know anything about the books for StarCraft, but Kerrigan just vanished, for all I know. I guess in Wool you can argue they knew Kerrigan was back, but it didn't seem like they were doing a lot to stop Kerrigan. Like, it doesn't really explain what the Protoss were up to. You encounter Tal'Darim, which are actually kind of lame in Wool, because in, like, Legacy of the Void, they're all red and black, edgy color scheme, but in Wings of Liberty, they're normal Protoss colors and teal. It's this weird evolution where they go from teal to green to red. And I don't get that. I don't get why they use the edgy color scheme for the Tal'Darim. I preferred the green and black design. But I guess that it's like the first Tal'Darim you encounter and Wings of Liberty are commanded by Nyan. And that's why they're just teal Protoss. In Heart of the Swarm, you encounter, well, in Heart of the Swarm and Wings of Liberty, you also encountered the green and black Protoss. It would be cool if they made a skin for those. But you encountered those, and in low TV, you encountered the red and black Protoss. But something different about all of them is that they're led by different commanders. The teal and gold Tal'Darim are led by Nyan. So they must be like converted Protoss. The green and black Protoss are controlled by hybrids or Narud. Like we notice in Wings of Liberty that the Dark Protoss are commanded by Mar, who actually never appears. He dies in Wings of Liberty, and we never see another individual hybrid ever again. Like in Wings of Liberty, hybrid were hyped up to be these super monstrosities that take a lot of a beating. But then, like, Co-op and Legacy of the Void are like, well, these things are really beefy units, but if you got like a super massive ground army, then you'll just destroy them. Because they're kind of weak units. Like, obviously, if you encounter like a whole lot of them at once, they're just gonna overrun you. But the melee ones kind of suck. They take a beating, but they don't really dish one out in proportion to the amount of damage they do. And then you have like the ranged ones. Hybrid Dominators are kind of annoying though, because they have Storm. But yeah. Well, I just got home. I'm just gonna post this on a video. So I hope you enjoyed what I was saying. Boop.